When Jesus Christ spoke on the earth, he often talked about law. Now, for many people, law and Jesus don't seem to go together in the same sentence unless Jesus did away with the law. And you'll never find that statement in the Bible. What we do find here in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5 is a very different statement that Christ makes about the law. We've already talked about do not think in chapter 5, verse 17. Do not think that I came to destroy the law or the prophets. I did not come to destroy but fulfill. And we explained how that meant to make full or to magnify. Jesus magnified the law by living it, by showing us how it should be kept. He didn't say don't keep it, but what he showed was how to keep it. Then he says in verse 18, for assuredly I say to you, he's emphasizing now, I didn't come to do away with it, but he's emphasizing, assuredly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle will by no means pass from the law till all is fulfilled. Heaven and earth. Look up in the sky tonight. Are the stars still there? Is the moon still there? Look up into the sky tomorrow. Still blue sky, still clouds, still sunshine? Have heaven and earth passed away? You stand on the earth, you see the dirt. Has that changed? Has that passed away? If they're still there, then the law is still there as well. The law still exists, and most Christians don't seem to understand that. So what is Christ saying? He said, I didn't come to destroy the law. In fact, none of it's going to be changed until all these things are fulfilled, till the time comes that heaven and earth pass away. Verse 19, he emphasizes it even more. Whoever, therefore, breaks one of the least of these commandments, and again, whoever breaks them, Christ said, even the least of them. You look at the 10 Commandments, and in some cases you might think some are less important than others. He's saying they're all equally important. If you break the least of those and teaches men so, that person will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. When we talk about the kingdom of God, law is important. But whoever does the commandments and teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So Christ taught the law. He taught the diligent keeping of the law. We don't keep the law to earn salvation. We keep the law to show our honor and respect to the great God who is saving us, who is caring for us, who created us. Then he said something interesting in verse 20 regarding the Pharisees. For I say to you, unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, the scribes and the Pharisees were very diligent in their minutia of law-keeping. They washed their hands just right. They washed their utensils and their plates and their things that they were going to eat off of very diligently. They walked the right number of steps. They prayed the right prayers. They did everything very meticulously. And to hear Christ say, your righteousness has to be more than that, was a bit hard to understand. But when we understand that Christ taught how to live the law, in other words, he taught the spirit of the law, the intent of the law. In other words, the intent, let's say, of the Sabbath day, the fourth commandment. We show our honor to God by how we keep the Sabbath, how we honor that holy time. So that's how, when we keep the spirit of the law, the intent of the law, as we keep it, then we are exceeding the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. Then we're in line to actually enter the kingdom of God. So Christ did not do away with the law. He made it clearer. He made it more understandable. And he taught that if we break it and teach others to break it, we won't be in the kingdom. But if we keep it and teach others, then we're eligible for the kingdom of God.